Hello and good morning. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is a beautiful Monday here in Northern Nevada. I hope it's a beautiful day for you all as well. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy days to give me time. And today that is what we're talking about is time. Time management is seems to be the hot topic. I asked you guys what you want me to talk about during these mindset trainings, and this time management probably got the biggest response, which is okay with me because it is one of my favorite subjects, one subject that I am really good at. So it was like, okay, I can do that. I can whip that one out really quick for you guys. And let's address the biggest, most important issues right off the bat, right? So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Evelyn Knight. I am the founder and CEO of Childcare Business Professionals, which is a company that helps owners and directors learn how to manage childcare centers and be profitable, right? I am an owner who has been both. I've been an owner that was failing. I know how lonely it is. I know how you can feel like you're an island and think that there's just no hope and place blame on everything, right? Just the process and everything. But that's really not the case. That it really isn't. What happens to us as owners and directors is we have a passion for children and we think we're going to get more of them if we go into management, right? We love our jobs as teachers. We may be great moms and just want to be there for our children. And we go into ECE leadership thinking that you're going to get more of it. But in fact, you get less. And we get less of what we loved doing. The other thing that happens is we are not business people, right? We are teachers and we have a passion for what we do, but we don't really realize that we're not business people. And when you go into leadership, you got to know business. So that's what I do now. I'm trying to save owners and directors the anguish and heartache that happens as a director. I don't want you to lose your passion and your love for ECE. You can still have it. It's not the job. It's not your center. It's not your employees. It's not your parents. It's your leadership. And that's what I'm here to help you with so that you don't have to feel the pain that I felt once upon a time. I'm just trying to save our industry from that pain. So thank you for joining me and taking this time out. I also am relaunching my podcast, the Child Care Business Coach Podcast. I am committed. My team keeps telling me, and my goodness, last 2 weeks, I have gotten flooded with emails from people asking me, when are you coming back? When is the podcast coming back? So we will be relaunching that. And I am also a childcare center owner. There's a lot of coaches out there right now. Our industry is flooded with people. Everybody has decided that they can be a childcare business coach. But the problem with that is they don't own centers, right? I own a center. I've owned 3 centers. I have been an in-home provider myself. So I have the real life experience. I've been there. I have had my center failing and almost hit bankruptcy to the point that we've taken it and completely transformed it to a model that people actually fly from all over the United States to see. So that is what makes me more qualified than the rest, is that I've done it. Everything I teach, I use at my own child care center. I have taken my center from failing. I've actually taken a few. I actually have purchased a couple too that were failing, and I've transformed them into thriving and successful centers. And I don't like purchasing failing centers and flipping them, because it's kind of like taking over someone's broken dream. I would much, much rather fix your dreams, help you regain that love. The reason, why did you become a director? Why did you become an owner? I would much, much rather help you get that back rather than taking over the dream that has failed, right? So I really didn't like it, that part of it, too much. So I'd much rather help people revive their dreams than take over and be successful on somebody else's broken dreams. So if that's something that is interesting to you guys, let my team know in the comments. That is something we can absolutely help you with. But I'm not going to take up too much of your time and waste your time. Let us get into the subject at hand today, which is time management. We're going to talk about how are we going to help you take control of your time, right? It's one of the biggest problems I think that our industry sees And in fact, this is such a big problem that for my members, if you become one of my members, the first thing I have you do is take my time management training. The reason that I prioritize time management so much, and the reason that I ask you to do time management first, is because I know if you don't get your time under control, you're not going to have time to do the work, right? No matter how much I teach, I could bring you guys the best content in the world. I could bring you life-changing information. But if you don't do the work, nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change. So the first thing you need to do is fix your relationship with time and learn how to manage time. Time management is a big deal. And I know what a lot of you think. You think, well, I don't have time. There's just no way. My job this and my job that. And I'm here to tell you that is not true. It is not true. You do have time. You just don't know how to manage your time. The reason I can say that, and the reason I feel qualified to say that, is because I learned this lesson the hard way. I used to be a director that worked 12-hour days. I literally lived at my center. I was there from open to close, and I would go on Saturdays to catch up on my work that I wasn't getting done, right? And I worked so much, I made myself sick. I actually have a neurological disease to this day that I will live with for the rest of my life because I overworked. That was just the first clue to me that I really didn't know how to manage time. But then my husband got very, very sick, and he was terminally ill. If you're new to me, my husband did pass away in July. But before he passed away, he got very sick, and I had to start nursing him. So I was in a position where I was running my childcare center. I'm an owner and director. At the time, I'm not anymore, but at the time I was the owner and director of my childcare center. I just launched a new company, which is this company that I bring this to you guys on. And I'm a mom. And now my husband is sick and he needs someone to help him with dialysis, juggling appointments and everything. And I had to really have a very candid conversation with myself and have some brutal honesty with myself. And basically, I discovered I don't know how to manage time. It wasn't that I didn't have time. It was that I don't know how to manage my time. So I set out on a journey to figure out, how am I going to master this time management, right? So I read books, I took courses, I did all the things. And now I've basically developed what really works. And I can tell you, at the core of our problem with time is our relationship with time. That is really the core. And I can guarantee every one of you, if you can fix your mindset around time, if you can fix your relationship with it around time first, then you can put a lot of other things into place in order to gain control of your time. Now, time management is a big deal. So it's not something I can teach you guys during these Mindset Monday calls, but I can help you with your mindset, right? So the first thing I want really to challenge you, and for my members, you've heard me say this before, but I will say this over and over and over again, because whenever you start losing control of your time, it always comes down to one thing, right? For me, I'm in the same boat. After my husband passed away, I have had a very hard time with time management. It's kind of ironic when your schedule is packed to the T, you have no choice but become very, very good with time, right? So I had become so good with just juggling this and fitting this in, because I'm literally taking him to doctor's appointments, waiting on his dialysis. He had so many doctors. It was so hard. He had so many doctors. But in between me being his chauffeur, because he had lost his driver's license, I had to figure out how to get my own work done, right? So you learn how to use every minute of your day. So then after he passed, I went through a period which was kind of rough. I stopped working for about 10 to 12 weeks. So coming back after that, I suddenly had all this time on my hands. All the appointments weren't on my calendar anymore. And it was almost harder for me to get my normal work in with more time than it was when I had less time, right? So I want you to think about when you're getting ready to go on a trip and you know you're leaving on vacation in a couple days. How efficient do you suddenly become, right? When you know that you leave, like for me, for example, I will be on an airplane on Thursday. I know I'm leaving town Thursday. The next few days, right? How efficient will I be to make sure everything gets done before I leave on vacation? Why can't we live our everyday life like that? The answer is you can. We choose not to. And that is the thing you really need to understand about yourself. A lot of mindset shifts and a lot of really getting to that next level of the better version of you is being honest with yourself. And this is an area that you seriously need to get honest with yourself. Seriously. If you can be that efficient right before a trip, then you can be that efficient every single day of your life. I'm leaving on a trip on Thursday. I honestly won't do anything different than I do every day because I know time management now, right? I do slip. I have to say my natural time management skills are horrible, horrible. So I'm not going to act like I'm perfect with time management because I'm not. I definitely have to have key things in place that I'm intentional about. Otherwise, my time management is horrible. I'm terrible at making deadlines. I'm terrible at just procrastination unless I'm intentional about taking control, right? So time management it takes intentionality. It absolutely takes intentionality. Otherwise, we don't have time. We just waste it. So being aware of your own personal time flaws. And I can guarantee you the one that almost all of you have that I know is that you don't respect your time. If there's one thing you remember from what I'm saying today, one thing that you take away, it's this. You have to respect your own time. I cannot tell you how important that is. A lot of you don't understand what I'm talking about. I didn't understand this concept. When this first was presented to me, I was just like, well, respect my own time. What does that even mean? Right. And I learned, and I can't even remember where I heard it the first time, but I basically learned that I think I was having a conversation with my one of my business advisors, and she basically said to me, Evelyn, um, if you have an appointment with your doctor, right? If you have an appointment with one of your teachers, or even the appointment you have here with me, right? You're going to respect it. You're going to respect my time, and you're going to show up. You're going to be there for that appointment because you respect me and you respect my time. But if you have an appointment with yourself, you put something on your calendar that is for you, you don't respect that. Somebody comes to you and says, hey, I need help writing my curriculum. You're going to break that appointment you have with yourself to go help them. She said, now, on the other hand, this appointment that you have with me, if you have this appointment with me and someone comes to you and says, hey, I need you to help me write my curriculum, you're going to say, oh, I'm sorry, I have an appointment. I can't help you right now. And you'll reschedule that person. So basically, and I'm thinking that's where I got it from. So that's just a hypothetical. But basically, what that taught me is that's absolutely right. I don't have respect for my own time. I do drop everything I need to do on my own schedule to help whenever I need to. But the problem with that is it causes a chaotic schedule and you're never getting your own stuff done. It also causes an environment where you get pretty much walked on. So think about the alternative, right? I didn't say no. I didn't tell the teacher, no, I can't help you with my curriculum. What I'm saying to them is, let's find a better time that works for me. You don't have to jump every time people say jump. You really don't. And that's what it comes down to. We don't respect our time. We don't even schedule things for ourselves, right? Like, for example, do you put financial management on your calendar? Do you have a set time on your calendar every week to go over accounts? Who's paid? Who hasn't paid? Who do you need to go after? Right? All of that. Do you have a set time every week that you know every Monday at 10 a.m. I'm going to do my accounting, period, right? Or observations. Do you have a set time on your calendar for that? Anything you do routinely, any special projects you need to do, is there a set time on your calendar for those things? And if not, that's something you need to do. You need to start putting it in your calendar. The other thing is, when it is in your calendar, do you honor that calendar? Or are you ready to just throw all of the things that you've planned away in order to accommodate everybody else's calendars, right? So if you just do that one thing, stop accommodating everybody else. You will gain so much of your time back. I promise. You'll gain so much of your time back. And it's okay to say no. It is okay sometimes for you to tell people no. You are not Superwoman. You're not Superman. I know we think we are sometimes, but we're not, right? I hear it all the time. It's kind of funny. My staff and some of my friends tell me all the time, Evelyn, you're not Wonder Woman. You're not Superwoman. You're human. And I know a lot of times it's hard because we want to be and do everything. But the problem with that is when you are everything and you try to be everything and do everything, you do a mediocre job of it, right? And that's where delegation, which is another huge area of time management, is truly delegating without micromanaging, right? Because if you're trying to do and be everything, I can guarantee you that you're doing a mediocre job of everything. If you want to do great, then you have to let that go. You have to. We can't survive if we're constantly trying to do and be everything for everybody. And I can guarantee you that either you're failing in a lot of areas or you're just doing mediocre, right? So that's where delegation comes in. And that's when you need to find your team members, the strengths that they have, assign different tasks to them based on their strengths, and let it go. Let go of the process. A lot of times, most of the time as leaders, we are those A-type personalities that need to be in control. I know I am. And we tend to get very controlling. So because we're controlling, we can't let go of the process, right? And this was very hard for me, very, very hard as the former director and as an owner of my center. I was very particular about how I want things done. And I'm still very particular on how I want things done, right? I do have my standards and I absolutely have expectations that I make clear. The process, though, isn't important. And I had to learn this the hard way. What's important are the results. If the end result is the same and it isn't costing you more money, then the process really shouldn't matter. As long as the process stays within integrity of your culture, your brand, and your values, right? As long as the process is aligned with your values and isn't costing more money, then the process does not matter. And we as leaders have to let it go. Process is only the means to an end. And what we have to focus on is the end results, right? It was very difficult for me to learn that. My director there was things that she didn't do the same way I did it, right? There were just some things that were just not the same. For example, like coordinating things like Mother's Day, right? Her method isn't the same as mine, or even putting out our annual calendar. That's something we just went through recently, where it's like, well, I wouldn't have done it that way. But then I had to stop back and think to myself, but her way works fine. Her way is just fine. It doesn't have to be exactly my way. She is getting the same results. It's not taking more time. It's not causing more problems. Or it's basically, at the end of the day, the results are exactly the same. So in this case, I have to let go of how I would have done it and let her do it her way. So if you ever think to yourself and stop your team because, oh, that's not the way I would have done it, you have to stop. You're sabotaging your own time management, right? And you're micromanaging your team. I mean, I could go into a whole training on just that because there's so many problems with that, where you are basically setting yourself up for your own failure by not allowing your team to just fly with the process. And I guarantee you probably don't have employee morale and different things like that when you just don't let your team fly with the process if you're micromanaging processes. So just keep that in mind. Let go of the process as long as it stays within the integrity of your center. It's not costing you more money. The end result is what matters, right? That delegation, let them do. Let them spread their wings and let them take off some of the things off your plate. And when you do, let it go for real. Don't control. Being controlling is exhausting you. It is absolutely exhausting you, and it is sucking your time away, just like not respecting your time, but they kind of go hand in hand. So that is basically what I have for you today. I mean, time management is huge. There's books written on it, right? I've read several books on it, and I have a whole training module that I think I don't even know how long it is at this point in my membership group that's on nothing but how to manage your time. But those two hacks are really going to change everything. And for my members, out there who are still struggling with time, if you've gone through all my time management trainings, I can guarantee you the reason you're struggling is it's still your relationship with time. You're still not showing yourself respect when it comes to your own time, and you're not segregating your time correctly and sticking to it. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to our team members. They can definitely help with that. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. If you don't have contact with a team member, leave a comment in this notes. If you're not one of my members, somebody can reach out to you. And I hope everybody found that useful. Let me know too if that was anything that you could put into practice, if there was any aha moments that you had that you just really just open your eyes to something new, and what you guys are going to be taking back and actually putting into action. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.